Dear friends, it's a great honor and pleasure for me to introduce you Eric Papadimitriou, Atmaram, French-born, a leading member of the Shivananda Yoga organization for the past 25 years in Europe. As a Swami, an Indian monk, he was a director of the Shivananda Yoga centers in Montreal, in Delhi, Madrid, Vilnius, and Paris. He was in charge of the development of Shivananda Yoga in Eastern Europe and setting up the teaching training courses mainly in Poland. Since the spring of 2014, he has relocated in Sofia, and it was really a great honor for me to have met him in last spring. He is very dynamic and very spiritual. Eric, that was my introduction. Now I will leave you to talk a little bit and then practice. When and where did you start to practice yoga?
So Pepa, first of all, thank you for the interview. I started yoga in 88 in Canada, in Montreal. There was a Shivananda Yoga Center there in Montreal, and so I started my practice first as a student, and then I became a yoga teacher the year after.
I mentioned that you are a Swami. What is Swami, and how did you become one?
So a Swami is an Indian concept. It means a monk in India. For us in the West, it means somebody who dedicates their life to teaching yoga, to practicing and teaching yoga to other people, to share that knowledge of yoga. And that's what it is.
When did you become one?
So 1 year after starting yoga in 90, I became a Swami until last year, so that's 25 years.
Great experience. What is the importance of yoga teacher and how a person should choose his teacher?
A yoga teacher is very important in yoga because one can make many mistakes if one practices alone. There are two kinds of mistakes. Either we do too little or too much. This is usually the two extremes in life. So a teacher is very necessary in yoga. If we do too little, we are not going to have the experiences of the practice. So the teacher is going to help us to do a little bit more, to push us. If we do too much, then we are going to get injured or to get maybe burnt out. So the role of the teacher is to help us to be more in the middle path.
And also I think you have to find the right teacher as a mind, as a spirit, isn't it?
Well, the teacher for yoga student is somebody who inspires that person to practice. So the teacher has to be practicing themselves and has to be an inspiration for the student. Only then there will be a relationship between a student and the teacher, and they will be able to make some progress together, in fact.
You teach mainly classical yoga. what is classical yoga and how it differs from the other types of other yoga styles?
Well, nowadays things can be quite complicated for somebody who wants to learn yoga, to start to learn yoga. There are so many different styles. Sometimes one doesn't know where to start. So maybe there's one main difference between classical yoga and many different modern styles, let's say. Classical yoga was in India, invented in India or found in India, and it was an integral practice. So it's not just physical, it's not just meant to make one fit, it's not just fitness, although it also makes us fit and healthy. So the main difference is that classical yoga is integral. We can say that there are 5 important practices in classical yoga. One is asana, or proper exercise. Second is proper breathing, or pranayama. Third is proper relaxation. And then there is proper diet. And then positive thinking and meditation. There's a nice way to remember that. Our teachers from Vishnu Devanda used to say, we have a body, it's like a vehicle. With this vehicle we can conduct our life, we can do whatever we want to do in our life, we can go ahead. If we want to reach our destination in life, to achieve our goals, we have to maintain our vehicle in proper functioning order, just like a car. You don't want your car to break down in the middle of the road. And so just like a vehicle will be maintained in 5 ways, we also have these 5 yoga practices. Finally, even if you have a very well-maintained vehicle, you need to have a good driver. Because if you have the best car and the driver... No. No, the driver is the mind. It's our mind. Yeah, our own mind. So if you have a very good car but the driver is drunk or is very tired and falls asleep at the wheel, you will have an accident. So even if we eat properly and do a lot of exercise, if our mind is very tense and very nervous, then we will also have some consequences. And so we have the 5 points in the vehicle and also in the practice of yoga. So this is classical yoga, these five things together. Integral yoga also, we call it.
That was a perfect explanation. After this explanation, can you tell us about the benefits? After we do all this, what will happen with our body? What are the benefits of yoga?
Yoga will give us many benefits at many different levels. So basically we can say that yoga, a very good definition of yoga is the union between the body, the mind and the spirit. And so at these 3 different levels you will get benefits through the practice of yoga. Physically, what's very important is that the benefits of yoga are not only muscular, so the muscles will be lengthened and more flexible, stronger, but you also get some very important benefits inside of the body. So the heart, all the digestive organs, the nervous system, the hormonal system, all of these systems will be tonified and they will work better. Then you get more energy, so you have an energizing effect of yoga. And this is very important because as you practice yoga, you start feeling that you have more energy. You can usually sleep better quite quickly, quite significantly. Digestion is better. And finally, you can think better. So you get very important mental benefits at the level of concentration and also at the level of thinking in a better way. You become more fit for facing the obstacles of life. So that's a lot. Spiritually, there's also the benefit of being more oneself. So you can connect to your own self and not be so unbalanced as when you're under a lot of stress and you have no control over your body and your mind.
Can we say that yoga is a medication or healing for people also?
Maybe healing is better than medication.
Healing is better.
Because medication implies or gives the idea that you will get a very quick fix. You take a pill and then you feel better. And yoga doesn't work like that. It's a good question. Actually, sometimes people take a class and then they don't feel so much the difference. We have to know that yoga will work if it's repeated over a certain number of times and as regularly as possible. And that's where we have problems in modern life to find regularity, and maybe a word that we don't like is discipline. And that's very important for yoga. Even people who are not very flexible, who are maybe not very good, they will have much better result if they are disciplined than somebody who is very talented but who is not disciplined. We need to practice maybe once a week or twice a week, but regularly and systematically for a while. And then we quickly feel much better, we can sleep better, we can think better,
We'll get the results. And you're here already a year. How do you find yoga in Bulgaria and your students here?
Well, everywhere is the same in a way. People have the same needs. What we find all over the world that I've seen in many different countries where I've been, whether it's Spain, Germany or Canada, or even India for that matter, and Bulgaria is the same. Modern life has become very fast. You have mobile phones, so you receive calls all the time. It's very difficult to have some free time out of this very hectic kind of communication in life. So there's lots of stress. And so Bulgaria is a very beautiful country. It has lots of sun and people have there are many positive values in Bulgaria, but if people are under a lot of stress, nothing of this is going to come out. Frustration will come out. And so yoga is very necessary also in Bulgaria. That's what I've discovered. People have to try to make time for it, and they will understand the benefits. So it's important for Bulgaria.
Tell us more about your yoga center here in Bulgaria. Where to find you? What kind of classes you also do, like retreat classes, and where? Tell us more information about that.
Okay, so here we are sitting in a studio called Atma Bala Yoga Center, and we teach classical yoga and meditation. We are in Poligona, so not too far from the mall, and we have all the different other things that we find everywhere else, like McDonald's is not too far from here. But here it's actually a very quiet space, and we teach here everything about yoga. We have yoga classes every day, 2 times per day or 3 times sometimes. We also teach cooking classes, so people can also practice vegetarian cooking, Ayurveda cooking, Ayurvedic food. And we also teach meditation, and we have lectures about the mind and positive thinking, thought power, and so on. So we cover all of the different parts of all the different aspects. You mentioned a retreat. Retreat is a very, very nice experience in yoga. We rent a place, like a small, nice hotel. In our case, it's not too far from Borovets, I think, to about 1 hour south of Sofia. And there we have 2 days completely dedicated to the practice of yoga. We go on Friday afternoon, we come back on Sunday. And what do? Lots of yoga, lots of relaxation too, some walks, we have lectures, but we have also 2 yoga classes every day, 2 meditations every day, some lectures. It's a very nice opportunity to experience the full effect of yoga in all of its aspects. And it's pretty much guaranteed that after 2 days we come back quite a different person. Yeah, recharge, and also with new ideas, we have time to think a little bit about our life. That's also very important.
See, I think that it's time for me to recharge as well. And enough talking. Let's do some yoga. Thank you very much.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.